last time we saw Jace, he was taking on his new mentor and technically beating him at his own game, which is about the only way to face that duel. Now his master has tasked him with heading out to the front lines and gathering intelligence from technically both sides of a conflict, but sending to one side first before he goes to the other. Because I guess that is how you do political arbitration. You dig up dirt on both sides so that you can see their true motives. Of course, like usual, we are mulliganing for Sphinx's tutelage and 2 lands to play, because it's about the only way to win this match. Okay, swamps, so at least one side of the conflict is in the territory of using zombies. And so the arms race begins. There we go. Now we just have to not lose for at least 20 turns. Hopefully less. Leeches! That was a lovely draw. So now we just need to hang on for approximately 10 turns, give or take. And with that divination, we can speed it up even more. But given that this is Jace, the monsters aren't there to attack, they're just there to look scary and hopefully prevent the opponent from smashing our face too hard. Ghouls! Now, given that they're using leeches and undead, you might suspect that this is the evil side of the conflict, but we're supposed to be neutral. Illusion cards are both neat and terrible. If your opponent doesn't have a way to target them, they can be brutally effective. But if your opponent's playing like a lot of red or a lot of buff cards, they can, you know, play them and just dismantle them immediately. And I kind of like the deck Jace is using conceptually, but not in practice. Like the idea that he's mostly using spirits and illusions and phantasms and mages that draw cards is a neat idea, but since the main way to win, and about the only way you're going to win most of these, is to mill your opponent, the Mill's side is really lacking. Like, one of the things that a lot of Jace cards in previous sets would do is that they would either send a few of your opponent's cards to the graveyard when they came into play, or they would get some sort of boost or power-up for your opponent having a certain number of cards in their graveyard, both of which would be a big help in this deck, but they're just not there. And of course, it is reliant a little bit on luck. You have to get enough monsters to deter your opponent from just steamrolling you, but you also have to get the Sphinx cards to basically get the milling going as soon as possible, getting one or both of them. And once again, the music in this game is kind of impressing me. It's a little bit more low-key in Jace's. It's not as upbeat as some of the ones towards the end of Gideon's. But it's got kind of that cerebral feel. It's kind of quiet and low-key, and there's not a ton of things going on, but it's still a little bit intense. I am really jealous of our opponent's deck. Because cards that draw or not draw. Because black is really good about pulling cards from the graveyard. And I believe I lucked out greatly here, because that second divination draw allows me to finish milling the opponent's deck, because I don't think I would have survived another turn if it didn't turn up. Which, naturally, a lot of Magic the Gathering games come down to luck, because you can build your deck with low mana costs, you can still not draw into the right mana, and other times you can build an outrageous deck that uses 5 colors, and for all purposes, you should not be able to get the land you need at the right time, and you still manage to pull it off. But we get our information from the Tactician's Mind, and now we must report back to our Sphinx Overlord. I mean, Mentor. See you in the next part when we find out what exactly he has us doing next.